I just wanted to kind of kick off and get us all together. I know you guys probably enjoy the game of basketball as much as I do. My name's Jake Scheidler, and I started Nebraska Talk, and it all started with the TikTok during football season. Noticing a lot of the small town schools not getting much hype. Smaller newspapers are kind of going away. I wanted to do something fun, kind of give back to the Class C and D schools, and I grew up in a Class C school, and so that's kind of what I'm all about, and trying to hype up the small schools. And I got so much excitement during football, they asked me to kind of take it into basketball, and I also do some wrestling as well. But that's a little bit of rundown about me. Let's kind of hear from you guys.
Nah, John, you got it, bro.
All right. Well, I'm John Russell. I'm the one person that runs Cornhusker Group Support. I kind of started it in March of 2020 when the pandemic hit and we were all stuck at home. And I figured I have all this knowledge about high school basketball in Nebraska for the past, I don't know, 6, 7 years of following my class and the class above and two classes above, all kind of my age group, and figured should probably be doing something with it. Kind of started off on Instagram, but haven't been as active on that. I kind of got more into Twitter, went to Midwest Live and got a media pass and started that was like my first event that I really covered. It really kind of took off. My Twitter account, gained like 200 followers from just that tournament. Got into a couple other tournaments. Recruit La Coops has picked me up now, so I'll be traveling with them next summer to all of their tournaments in Minneapolis, Tulsa, Atlanta. Jamin will be there, I think. Are you going to be there, Jamie?
Yes, I will be.
All right. And yeah, that's kind of where I am now. I'm a basketball player. I'm a senior at Fremont High School. And yeah, so I kind of get it's nice to have the perspective of being able to watch players, but then also being able to play against players and kind of mix it together.
Yeah, all right, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so my name is Jamin Kinman. I am the only person that runs Omaha 402 Hoops, 402 Hoops on Twitter and YouTube and Instagram. I kind of started with Instagram. It kind of became me filming on my iPhone 7, just filming my friends at the Metro Holiday Tournament, just having fun. And then once it started kind of like popping off, I kind of took it more seriously as it went. And I feel like, and yeah, I started about 2 years ago. When I want to say when the class of 2019 was a senior. That's what I want to say. So yeah, I'm a senior as well. I go to Platteview High School, and yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's nice. I know you reached out to me first, and I've really been
Yep.
enjoying kind of bouncing ideas back and forth and sharing a little bit with you. That's pretty cool, man.
And we got it. Hey, this is not. He's not a normal guest on. He's not a normal host, but we got a special guest on. We got Mr. Cale Jacobsen, aka my cousin. So go ahead, Cale. Go crazy.
Yeah, I'm Cale Jacobsen. I'm a junior at Ashland. I tore my ACL recently, so just kind of recovering now, but just trying to get back, hopefully play this summer a little bit and see what happens.
All right, man. Yeah, we definitely wish you that recovery. I went through some sports injuries in high school, and I think they've come advanced, and you'll be back at it. What are you looking at doing next year?
Yeah, hopefully I can play a little football. That's the plan right now, but basketball is definitely first priority. So.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah.
The recovery process, like I think I saw it was 7 to 9 months of the ACL recovery. What does that kind of entail?
So right now it's just kind of trying to stay off it as much as possible. Keep the swelling is really the big thing. Get swelling out of there. But once that's all gone, you can start putting more weight on it. Start walking a little bit. Hopefully at 6 months, I think is June. So 7 months is July, and that's kind of what we're shooting for to get back on that circuit in July. But yeah, they say 7 to 9 usually. And hopefully it's right at that 7 spot.
Do you think that affects your recruiting process at all?
I mean, it definitely doesn't help just not being able to play this season, but
Yeah.
I mean, I just kind of believe that I'm going to end up where I'm supposed to end up. So we'll see this summer,
Sure.
next year, and see what happens.
I remember reading an article about how when COVID hit, Lincoln Supreme and that whole organization did a really good job of sending out like film or talking to college coaches.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking kind of the
Absolutely.
same thing with you.
Yeah, Ryan he's the head coach at Waverly right now. But he's got a full-time job with Lincoln Supreme, and that's what he does. So he was super helpful for all of us.
Off the subject of basketball, but I had hurt myself my senior year, shattered my elbow, but my recovery, I kind of this is before even the social media world even hit. I kind of recorded a lot of my process, what I was doing in the weight room, my recovery, some therapy, and all the techniques that I was going through, and sending those to those college coaches, something that you might do during your process all the way up into your senior year.
For sure.
I have a big list of like all the schools that I read that you had answers from, like Omaha, Liberty, or I could list off all of them, but I'd take a long time. Do you have any like big schools that kind of like reached out the most? Like, what are like your top 3 that contact you the most? Or
yeah, I don't know if Drake's on that list, but I've talked to Drake quite a bit recently. A couple of their coaches have had the same ACL injury, so just kind of relating to them about that kind of stuff. And then I guess maybe like in Indiana State, I've talked to their assistant. We text quite a bit. We have a pretty good relationship too. And then I just talked to Coach Henderson at South Dakota State just the other day on the phone, just kind of telling them what happened and kind of catching up with how their season's going and stuff. But those are probably the top 3.
all right.
The big powerhouse as Isaac gaining all this interest. Do you think that helped you with your interest at all?
And he's super fun to play with too. So he's not one of those big force. Cocky. He takes all. He's very unselfish.
Yeah. So like we obviously know about the potential you guys' team could have had. Like, who was the biggest piece that you were missing due to whatever the reason was?
I don't know. I think it would have been nice to get out of Nebraska and Kansas City and ever and just kind of play some circuit teams or whatever. But I think we had a pretty good squad. I don't know what else we would need, but I don't know. We'll find out.
Brother's not supposed to play with y'all, or what?
One of them's hopefully he's gonna play college baseball, so they were kind of focusing on that. And they played with another team up in northeast Nebraska, stay closer to home.
It's gonna be like mainly the same core group, kind of like Isaac Trout, Hunsaker, you, Devin Wilson, McPhail. Are they all coming back to Supreme next year?
I think they're all coming back. I think so, yeah.
All right.
We've been playing together for 3 or 4 years now with kind of that same course, so it's lots of fun.
16U team in state, like full strength, and I know I saw something when you say, "Oh, you guys were running from OSA when you played instead of I can't remember. I think it was instead of River Cities, you went up to Minneapolis for that prep hoops tournament." But it's the exposure because I saw right after that, I think Devin Wilson was talking to a couple of coaches and one other player, so it's that exposure.
Yeah. I was quarantined for that tournament, so I had to stay home. But they were played up in the 17s for that one, and they got lots of good stuff out of that. So yeah.
Yeah.
You feel me? Ashland's not a big town, so you see like the little kids obviously looking up to. They obviously think that you're the person like they grow up to be because they don't grow up around a Hunter or a Chucky. They go around Cale Jacobsen. Like, does that add any pressure when hooping or?
I don't think pressure. I think it just maybe I have to be a little bit smarter with what I do because I know that there's people who are looking after me. But it's also fun. Like there's one video that you took against UTAN where there was like kids on the sideline and I gave one of them a high five or something after a 3. And like, that's just fun. That's fun for basketball.
And kind of piggybacking off of that, with your injury this year, since you can't be on the court playing, you're kind of taking not really a coaching role, but kind of like helping out on the sides and
absolutely. I mean, we're up to like 5 coaches now, and they've all been through our program. So just all of us kind of putting our heads together, we think we can still make a run at the state tournament for sure. That's our goal. Keep those expectations high.
Oh yeah.
Impact do you think Coach Mose, or is that how you pronounce it, Coach Mose?
Yep.
Yeah. How much do you think he's like impacted your game and how much you've improved?
He's been huge. He can shoot the lick out of the ball. I mean, that's just what he does. He played and he was just a knockdown shooter, shot like 47%. So just that kind of aspect he's super skilled, can shoot it really well. So just everything he has to offer is really insightful. So helps me get better for sure.
Who got you interested in the game? How'd you become so excited to play basketball?
My dad was he coaches my Lincoln Supreme team now, but he was the head coach at Ashland for like 17 years.
Nice.
So I just grew up in the gym. And funny story, when he took the principal job, and Coach Mose became our head coach. I was like nervous because I didn't think Coach Mose would let me come to practice when I was like a fourth grader, and I was crying. I cried myself to sleep for like 3 nights because was just sad I couldn't go to practice anymore.
Nice.
But even then, Coach Mose was welcoming and just let me come and let me be a manager or whatever. But
Omaha tournament. I was DMing on Twitter with a college coach from what conference is it? Summit League. And he said that what really stood out to you or to him from you was your footwork. Do you think that's one of your best parts of your game, or what do you think is the best part of your game?
Yeah, I mean, that's a Coach Mose and my dad thing. They just preach footwork and just being simple. But yeah, for sure. And I think another part of my game is just how many different things I can do. Like with high school, it's kind of, I got to be a scorer. Like when you get with Isaac, you got to, how can we get Isaac? You know, like feed that man. He's a beast. So playing all those different roles, I think, has really been shown how versatile I can be.
So while you were hurt, how do you make practice fun, bro? Like we all want, like, does it get boring at times?
I mean, every once in a while, yeah. But we have a couple kids. We have a kid with Down syndrome who comes to practice every day. So me and him we hang out all the time and just kind of relationships there. It definitely helps me grow as a person, just seeing all the different kinds of people. But
yeah. What is your favorite part about competing?
ooh.
Yeah,
I think
the big dog questions. Cale, don't sleep on me.
I mean, it's just fun. Like when you get up against another top player in the state, like there's nothing better than that. I just think about Ron Colley last year when they had Jack Dotzler, Taden Red. Like that was the most fun game I've ever played. Just going at it with winning to overtime. And we did come out with the win last year, but like just having that competition just raises your level of play, I think.
If you had to compare your game to an NBA player, who would it be?
I don't know. I got to think kind of a lefty. So I've heard some Manu Ginobili a little bit. This summer I heard a little Manu. I don't know. It's hard with being left-handed.
Who'd you learn to shoot from?
My dad.
He shot that cricket ass jumper.
Well, lefties are always good. Go tell me a lefty that's straight.
Yeah.
No, bro. Bro, I'm not bashing, bro. I'm not bashing because it goes in. But like I don't understand. Like I was so confused how you shot like that. Like I'm just confused.
I don't know.
Because I said
that's what everybody
it's
does.
tough. Are you ambidextrous or just lefty?
I swing baseball bat and golf club right-handed, but that's it.
Have any more questions for my cousin?
No, I think I'm excited to watch him play his senior year, man. Get that recovered, and I know you're probably a little bit away from me, but I'm excited to watch him play.
Thank you.
Yes, good luck with your recovery.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
For sure. Good luck with your injury. Get back on the court because we need more mixtapes. Sounds good.
Appreciate it.
All right,
see you guys.
All right, so that was Cale, inside the mind of the Division I interest point guard from Ashland Greenwood, Cale Jacobsen.
Very nice. Glad to have him on and to just see, the young athletes. You can just see in him that he wants to get back on the court. He's very, very competitive, and that's just going to be very exciting to see him play. So, thank you for bringing him on.
So next, we're going to move to our next segment, top performers of the week. Do you want to start, Jake?
Pick. So, one of them that I've got is Brady Tim from UTAN. He just surpassed his 1,000 career points, and UTAN, they've been a very competitive on the court. I haven't counted them out yet. They've had some close games, but they're looking pretty good.
I was also going to add that he committed to Doan as well, and I know Coach McKeithen over there. I know he's very excited to have him in the little arsenal that they have. And I know he just forgot what stats he put, but he put up really good stats against a Class C1 powerhouse at Wahoo just the other day.
Yep, I seen that, man.
They unfortunately did not pull out the win, but he definitely made himself known.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, definitely think he's gonna keep competing this year. He's looking good.
For sure.
I go on to number 2, and they're not in any order, 1, 2, and 3. I've got 3 top picks, and I could probably grade them all on the same level. But
Sure.
Brett Mahoney from Kearney Catholic, same thing, hit a 1,000 career points, and a couple of the highlights that were sent my way. Watched some of his recaps through Huddle. Just another impressive player. Just a sharp shooter. I mean, he can be out from, past the NBA level 3-pointers, and he's knocking them down. Yeah. So definitely a great athlete to watch.
I know he unfortunately didn't. He played AAU this year, but he played with like a school team.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've told, I could be wrong, but from what I've seen him play with one tournament, and that was with his Kearney Catholic squad. And he's a junior. I'm surprised he has not gotten a lot of. From what I heard, he has not gotten a lot of interest from like high level colleges. That I feel like he's 110% sure. He's multi-sport athlete. He plays football and I feel like he does track as well. I could be wrong, but he's a big guy. He can finish really well. He's one of my top picks in that class. Most underrated player, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree with you so much, and I think, what we're doing here and just trying to really shout him out, he deserves a lot more hype than he's given. So,
110%.
Yeah. The next one I've got is Brock Birch from Burwell. I don't know if you've seen him as well. Another 1,000 career points. Burwell, just like their football team, in the top 10, continuing to dominate, looking really good. And same thing with him. I watched some of his fast breaks. He's all over the court. He's a hustler, and great sharpshooter from the 3-point line.
For sure, he's a very humble athlete as well. He's not out really showboating a lot, so I respect that a lot about him. The name your 3?
Yeah. So I mean, everybody heard about it. I mean, 48. That's
boy.
And I mean, he should have had 50, but we won't mention that in this dunk. But to be able to do that against such a high-level opponent, and, I mean, the highest things you can get before a championship, I mean, everybody kind of wants to see the trilogy. I mean, this game, regular season matchup, and then hopefully in the playoffs. But 48 points.
I wasn't tennis for that game. I was saying I wasn't tennis for that game. I did witness that. And
nice.
It shocked me and everyone in the arena, so it was dope.
Yeah, I mean, he did it on such efficient numbers. He shot 19 of 26 and like 5 of 9 from the 3-point line, had 14 rebounds, had that game-tying 3, I think, was at the end of the first overtime with like 15 seconds.
Yeah, it was like, I want to say 23 seconds left of the first overtime. He hit a 3 to tie it, and then WS had an unsuccessful attempt at a game winner.
Yeah. My second one is got to be Pierce Basil from Lincoln Northeast. I mean, he did it against Columbus, who hasn't had the prettiest of record in the first round of hack tournament, but he's had a really nice opening to his season.
Sure.
They got 35 points on 74% shooting, 14 and 19, had 7 rebounds and 5 assists. I mean, he's got so much. I mean, obviously he's been good, but he's gotten so much better. His offensive game has really taken off, and now he's working on becoming just more of a all-around player.
For sure. I know he picked up his fresh offer this past year from Wayne State.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's gonna get shown a lot of love this year.
Oh yeah. And I know he's got a couple D1 interest, I think.
For sure. I feel like a few summer league schools, I feel like.
And then my third one, I may be getting this name wrong. Trenton Buescher, or I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, from Dessler. In a 72-44 win, he had a 20-20 game, 20 points, 20 rebounds, and shot 8 of 10 from the field with 4 assists as well. I mean, 20-20 games, hard to come around. But
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's as impressive as a rebounding game as I've seen all year.
For sure. So my top 3, I actually have 4.
You're sneaking another one in there.
Yeah, I'm sneaking another one in. But my first one is Brandon Origibold from Elkhorn North. This dude, he came from Elkhorn High. He's a junior. He put up 25 against Roncalli, which has always been Class B powerhouse. He put up 25 against Rowan Colley. Then he put up 18 against Wahoo, and he blew up this year. Like he wasn't on the top OSA team, so I don't feel like he got a lot of looks as he should. But I know I worked with him a lot this past summer. Just him coming to my events, him just getting buckets. Like he was getting his own against D2 and D1 players that it would be at my event. He was getting his own, and I feel like I really respect that of him and him hustling. And I feel like his play style works a lot well with Coach King and his guys. That's why I feel like they've had so much success this year. At least one of the main reasons.
Yeah, his name I first heard about it over the summer and watched him play a couple times in fall league too. And his game's just so fundamentally sound. He's really smooth with the ball and off the ball. So I definitely think he's on the right.
I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, I see him lit up all over Twitter. So a very good pick.
And then I actually have a girl this time. Riley Rice from GICC. I watched her. She's a good friend of mine. I watched her play this past summer when she played for Tri. When she played with the Lasers as well down in Wichita, I watched her with them. And then when she subbed with Tri-City Supreme, she put up 30 points against Fullerton with 8 threes. I believe that was breaking the school record, which I could be wrong, but I feel like I think it was breaking the school record. And then 26 against Sutton, which is Sutton has an amazing coach. I can't come up with his name at the time, but he has an amazing coach and just amazing team, and it's very impressive when someone scores even more 20 against Sutton.
Yeah, I watched some of her highlights, and I tried to put a highlight reel together for her 8 3-pointers and try to do it in 15 seconds of what I was doing on TikTok. Just impressive. I really enjoyed watching some of her clips. You got a good one there.
For sure. Then my third one is somebody who I actually go to school with. His name's Connor Milliken from Platteview. He's been lighting it up. He scored 35 points against another Class B powerhouse in Beatrice. He scored 35 points in the win against them. He just dropped 28 today against 26 against Plasmith today. Then I feel like the game before against Elkhorn he dropped 25. So I feel like I could have I don't think I have the numbers on. I could be wrong, but I feel like he is a tremendous player. When I first heard about him, when I first came to Platteview, they were all talking about him. They were all talking about how he's going to be the next great. I promise you, I was the biggest doubter. I was the biggest doubter in him because they were talking about how he was going to be one of the best players in the state, and now I believe it. But when I did, I for sure did not.
That kid really gets buckets. I remember watching him OSA gets buckets all the time, and then they put him and John Mitchell on the same OSA team for the showcase, and that's just unfair. That's one of the best scorers in the state on one team, and right now it looks like I got my max preps pulled up right here. He's 8th in the state, averaging 24.3 a game, and number one, of course, John Mitchell. Oh, well, I guess these stats are outdated, but Milliken's definitely right up there.
And he's barely scratching 6 foot as well. That's what I think is impressive. He's barely scratching 6 foot, and he can do an easy back scratcher with ease. And I was like, bro, like I was. Sheesh.
It's uncanny sometimes.
Yeah. So my last pick is somebody who I had to mention was Brody Johnson from North Bend Central. He dropped. Was it 28? I'm pretty sure it was 28. He had 28 and snapped
Omaha Concordia. Is that right?
Concordia.
Yeah.
He snapped Concordia's winning streak. And now they're 7-1. They were impressing everyone this year, but he put on a show and snapped the win streak.
You know, I go with you. I've been watching Brody since football and covered him. Just a tremendous athlete. And then just to see his training in the off season, what he does to be a competitive mindset. And he's got a very good coach up there, John Bear. I think they're a little underrated. I think people need to watch out for North Bend and definitely watch out for Brody Johnson. I think he's definitely a competitive person. So, yeah, you got a good one there.
Yeah, I got. He'd come to the Fremont YMCA when I was there, and I did not want to guard him because he was hard to guard. I didn't like getting blown by on defense all the time.
For sure. Yeah, I got a chance to watch them against West Point Beamer. I feel like one of the first games of the year for them, and he, I think, dropped 16 points with 3 threes. Some of the top, they ended up winning by a big margin, but it's because he hit those clutch threes that brought him to that big margin and kind of just rided the coast from there.
Definitely. Yep, I agree.
Games we're going to be /watching. So you go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, I've got 2 on my list this week. One of them's could be a good possibility that I'm going to try to attend if I can get in. I don't get as many great credentials as you guys. You guys get to see a lot of games. And congrats. I'm just starting out at the ball club here, so I don't have the free passes like you guys. But if I don't, I've been watching them wherever I can. GICC continues to impress me. People are still kind of waiting to see. They're still kind of talking a lot of smack and don't think that they're the true number one, the new deal in C2. And then you got Kearney Catholic, which is in your C1. They dropped to 8-2, but man, they're like I was saying earlier, they've got the talent there. So I think that's going to be a great game to watch.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like GSCC a lot. They have a great coach in Tino Martinez. He's a great coach. I feel like he works with them well. You had on GICC, you have Day Jangmar, who picked up a few NAIA offers this past summer, and I feel like he's going to match up with Brett well. I don't know if he's really going to be able to guard him that well, but I feel like he's going to be able to match up with him well. And then with Day, you have his brother Gil, who first year playing for a big club team as Factory this past year. He's been as important as a role as any other person on the team, and he's opened up a lot of eyes.
Yeah, I agree with you there. D1 C2 action. Ansley Litchfield, which is D1 9-1, and then versus Amherst, which is 7-1 in the C2. I haven't been following Amherst really closely. I just started watching some of their highlights, but been watching some of the players on Ansley Litchfield, and I think that I think they can take this game over the C2 team Amherst.
For sure. Yeah, I like Amherst a lot. I haven't got a chance to watch them so much this year, but I like them a lot and what they do. Games you better come watch / attend.
I think probably my one game that I want to keep an eye on in Class B is Mount Michael, who's undefeated and top of Class B in my opinion, versus Hastings, who's 5-2. Hastings got a reload after new coach and Connor Creech leaving, but they've done a good job so far. And
for sure. Yeah, they got a good matchup. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got a chance to watch them against Crete, and they had they're not really like a basketball, like they don't have a lot of basketball players. They have a lot of athletes, if that makes sense. They have Jarrett Sinek, who's going to Nebraska for football. Yeah. He's so much I never make mixtapes for football players, but he's just a big body, and he does not move like it. He moves like a guard, and I like his play a lot.
My notes went away. All right. And my second game was Lincoln Pius the 10th versus Lincoln Southwest. I mean, obviously Pius is going to be really good this year. They got depth, they got height. They can go 8, 9, 10 deep and just be just as good as anybody else in state. And their height is crazy. They have 6'6", 6'4". Everybody seems to be giants out there. And then Lincoln Southwest, their record doesn't show how good of a team they are. They're 2-2, but their losses are to Grand Island and Creighton Prep. Creighton Prep's game was close, and
very close.
They got a lot of good pieces. They got Bohr. They got Hunziker.
Smith.
Yeah, Ryland Smith. That was the next one.
They got Ben Hunziker. Yeah. They got they're a very young team, and I feel like they're gonna. I don't know if this year is a year, but I know for sure next year it's wraps. They're gonna make a big run at state next year.
Yeah, they're really well coached. They all seem to love playing Lincoln Southwest basketball. It's not like, I'd rather be playing over at this school. Yeah. They all seem to really take pride in playing at Lincoln Southwest and playing together. Because I remember I watched them in fall league, and nothing like super stands out to me. Like it's not like, oh, they're just a really good drive and kick team. Like they can just do a little bit of everything, and everybody can do a little bit of everything on that team. It kind of makes it really hard to kind of stop one thing, because when you stop one, 3 other problems appear for your team.
Sure. Yeah. So my games, so I'm going to a game every day this week. I cover NAIA basketball as well. So tomorrow I'm actually heading over to AL for Abraham Lincoln versus Middle North. That I feel like it's going to be an extremely good game.
AL got a tough schedule this week. North, tomorrow, and then either Thursday.
West on Friday.
That's a gauntlet.
That's very tough. They have I feel like Josh Dix is gonna. This is a chance to prove that he's gonna be like he proved it in the summer. I feel like now going up against Middle North, that it's gonna prove that he's one of the best juniors. And if he was in Nebraska, I feel like he'd be one of the best in the state. And then on Wednesday, I'm actually heading over to Doane versus Morningside for that NAIA matchup. I feel like that's going to be extremely tough. And then Thursday, I'm heading over to Papio South versus Bellevue West. I feel like I'm extremely excited for. The AD was nice enough to let me in, and God bless him. He's a tremendous AD for allowing me to do that. And I feel like I'm extremely excited for that one. And then Friday, I'm actually going to the AL and Bellevue West game. I'm going to try to. And then,
Yeah, you got your hands full of some great action, it sounds like. I wish I could have your schedule.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Very nice.